A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for keeping it to Y254. This is the best place to be each and every Thursday. Your #1 youth station, Y254 TV. We are coming to you live from the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation here in Nairobi, Kenya. We are also streaming live through our website, and that's at www.kbc.co.ke/Y254. My name is Ram Aguko, and this is Power Talk. It's a pleasure being with you today on this fine Thursday morning. I value your feedback. Thank you so much for tuning in. I remember a repeat of this show airs again tonight and every Thursday at 10 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we have a lot in store for you in our conversation. Today, let's talk about a woman's role in a successful marriage. What is the role of a woman? And I know very well that this conversation is going to ignite a lot of discussions. So today we are beginning with the part 1 of this conversation. Today we will talk about the role of a woman, and next time in our next conversation we'll talk about the role of a man. Today, how can a woman ensure that she keeps her marriage? How should a woman treat her husband? Do we have any duties? Do you subscribe to the role of women when it comes to matters concerning the kitchen, cooking? How should a woman argue with her husband? How can a woman raise her children? Today, this conversation is for the married people here. And if at all you're also trying to get into marriage, I believe you're going to learn something today, because we want to decipher what the role and how powerful a woman can be when it comes to marriage. And I know the feminists also come into this conversation, and let's talk about this issue here, because I believe that at the end of the day, you are going to learn something. And to my far right, to help us in this conversation, I'm with Reverend Evans Kocho. He is a pastor, a counselor, conference speaker, and a mentor. Karibu sana, Kasisi.
Pleasure.
Hope you're well.
I'm well.
Thank you so much.
I'm better than you.
We'll find out over that. Yeah. And next to me, I'm with Apostle Merab Oyunga. She is a conference speaker, a pastor, and also from Gilead Healing Ministries International in Utawala, Nairobi. Karibu sana, Apostle.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure having you. How are you feeling?
Pleasure too. I feel good.
You feel good?
Yes.
Thank you so much. And of course, I value your feedback. I welcome you to join us in this conversation right here on Power Talk. Go to our Facebook page. You'll see our post on the platform that's at Y254. Like the page, follow the page, and then you scroll down to our post where you'll be able to drop in your comment on the comment section below. Let us know where you're watching us from. Give us your thoughts in regards to this. The hashtag is Power Talk Show on Twitter. Tag me at Ram Maguko. The official station handle is at Y254 channel. Women, what is your role? Let me start with Apostle Merab, because now ladies first. Najua hapo inakuguzia sana sana.
Yes.
Do you believe that a woman plays a vital role when it comes to the success of a marriage?
Very.
What is a woman's role?
First, the ideal woman that God created is a very powerful woman. Mm-hmm. And so she has a very important role in a house, in a family, mm-hmm. in a marriage. Mm-hmm. Yes, first she's called the helper. Okay?
A woman is a helper.
A woman is the helper.
Okay.
To the man, mm-hmm. in marriage.
Mm-hmm.
A helper, that means that the man is not complete without a woman.
Yeah.
There's a vacuum that must be filled with a woman or by a woman. Mm-hmm. That's how important she is. So without a woman, there is a gap, there is a vacuum in a man.
So if I get you correctly, and
yes.
and let me try and decipher what you've said.
Yes.
You're saying a woman is a helper.
Yes.
So when it comes to the success of a marriage,
yes.
it is upon, therefore, reflective of the man to make the marriage successful, so that the woman can help. So the woman doesn't really need to play a key role in terms of any strength in the marriage, because she is the helper. She only helps, nothing else. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of the two have key roles, different roles in a family. Okay? Her place in being a helper was you see, the Bible says that God created man, and God saw that man was not okay.
He was not complete.
He was not complete. And then God said, he made him sleep. Then out of his rib, he made for him a helper. And when the man woke up, he saw the woman and he felt complete. So the helper comes in the part and parcel of a man as a person, in the personality of the man. Not the practical roles in the family. Okay? But when it comes to a family, the roles in the family, each person has got different roles altogether.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let me come to you, Reverend, to your opening remarks. Do you believe that women also play a vital role in ensuring that marriages are successful?
Very true. Let me begin it from this perspective. You know, we are talking about successful marriage. Yeah?
Yes.
Marriage is God's idea. It is an agenda that was formed by God. He said that it is not good for a man to be alone. I will make him a helper. Suitable. In fact, the Bible uses the word suitable or comparable to him. So the moment we look at things from that perspective, then it is very easy to come with the definitive roles and responsibilities of a woman and even of a man. I agree with Merab that woman plays a very vital role in the life of a man and in the completeness of a marriage. Therefore, for the first thing you say that woman is a helper. We know one of the deceptive narrative that has been sold outside there is that a woman is coming just to help you in what you have, not that is contributing in something. That's a very deceptive narrative. From the mind of God, from the Bible, a woman is a helper in this concept that you are raising or building a home or a marriage together. That is why the Bible says that he who finds a wife, not he who finds a girl or he who finds a woman. A wife is a complete thing. That is why the Bible says that it's a good thing. Okay. It's a complete thing, meaning she has ideas, she has opinions, she has strength, she has wisdom, she has knowledge. She's able to add on top of what you are having to build this marriage and make this marriage work.
So when we say a woman is a helper, are we? You're saying she builds also. So let's define that even further, because yes, we say the role of a woman is to help the man. What if the man is the problem? What if the man is the one that is bringing issues? What if the man is a drunkard? The man is an alcoholic. The man smokes too much. The man has a problem, and the marriage is crumbling because it is a man that is not financially stable. It is a man that just has a problem. How does a woman help in that scenario?
Irrespective of what the man is, that does not change the role of a woman. Actually, being a wife is not a title or a change of status. It is a calling. It is a mandate. It is a responsibility.
It's a calling.
Yeah. So whether the man is a drunkard, whether the man is, this guy, lazy guy who wakes up at 10, then hangs around, comes back with nothing, that still does not change. A woman has a responsibility to help this man to be a great man that he's supposed to be. Or can I say it this way? In every man, the Bible describes Jesus in 3 dimensions. One, the Bible describes Jesus as the Lamb of God. The Bible describes Jesus as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. The Bible describes Jesus as the King of Kings. Now, in every man, and every woman must hear this, in every man there is a lamb. In every man there's a lion. In every man there's a king. It is the responsibility of this woman Number one, to make sure that the lion in this man is caged, is not allowed to be released. And number two.
Okay, finish this. You're making me want to ask questions. Okay. All right, so cage the lion.
The woman must cage the lion and must nurture the lamb and must release out the king in this man.
Why do you cage the lion in a man? Okay, do you agree with what Kocho is saying? First of all, as a woman, do you think that is what you subscribe to?
I think he needs to elaborate more. I'll say my own side.
He needs to elaborate more.
I'll just say my own side.
When you say cage the lion, are you saying that his potential, because in every man's potential lies in the lion side of him? Is that true?
You know the nature of a lion.
To roar.
Right now, if a lion is released here, my friend, this show is over. So in every man, there is that dimension, there is that nature of a lion that should not be allowed to get out. So the wisdom in this wife must always cage this lion and keep, meaning the responsibility of woman being a helper is to make sure that is helping this man to bring out the lamb, to nurture the lamb in him and to bring out the king in him. In other words, this woman should not play any role in bringing out the worst in this man. Every man carries the worst. Every man carries the best. Okay. It is the responsibility of this helper to make sure that all that time she is with this man, she nurtures or she brings out the king in this man.
He has described it now. Do you agree?
Well, I think what he means is this, that as a woman, you need to identify your man. You need to know your man, okay? Know who he is, study him, and know who he is. Know his weaknesses, and know his strengths. Try to bring up the strengths in him. The strength in him, yeah, that will bring productivity in the family. And the weakness, how do you curb now the weakness? I think
exactly.
How do you curb the weakness as a woman? You as a helper, you need to fill the vacuum in the weakness. You need to find out how you tame the weakness in the man. I think that's what I've gotten from him.
All right. Now let me ask you, still on the both of you, because now I'm intrigued to find out this. Now, you said tame the lion, keep him caged up. You've said find the weakness in the man and try to work on it, and improve him, make him a better man.
Yes, or fill it.
Or fill that empty, that vacuum.
Yes.
When marriages fail, does it mean the woman in that marriage has failed?
When marriages
fail, does it mean the woman in that marriage has failed? Because there was a vacuum, she did not fill it. Is that what you're saying? In marriages that have failed, is it that the women in these kind of marriages did not know their roles and did not play their roles right?
When a marriage fails, it doesn't necessarily mean that the woman failed. Actually, anytime you see a marriage going down, both these two people have played a role for that marriage to go down.
But the woman is a helper. The woman is the one who looks at the weakness in the man and, as Meraba said, fills the vacuum.
Let me break it down.
Yeah.
Number one, the woman is a helper. Helper in this concept, from this perspective. Number one, I have a vision. The Bible says that it is not good for a man to be alone.
Yeah.
I have a vision. This woman is coming into my life to help me build my vision. I have a vision. You know, vision can be in several aspects. Number one, my first vision or my first priority is the family.
Yeah.
Where do I need to take this family? And it's coming when I already have an idea of where I want to take this family. It's adding better ideas to complement what I have to bring this family to a desired end. And other duties in raising the family, in raising the children, in working together to make sure that this family remains together. She has a role to play, I have a role to play. That will bring me to number two, role of a woman, that is submission. This woman must be submissive, so that we dissect this issue of taming the lion and, bringing out the king.
So you help him, you submit to him.
Yes, yes. So this woman should, and according to the Bible, must be submissive. In fact, the Bible defines two things. A man is required to love. A woman is required to submit.
Now, in the case where a marriage has failed, who plays the bigger role?
Both of them played a role. Marriage is like this table here, Ram. Eh? I carry this side, you carry the other side. If it falls down, it means
both of us.
Both of us
Yes.
allowed it to fall
It's
down.
true.
Yeah.
But me, I wanted to bring the aspect of the society. Marriage is a communal thing, and that's what it used to be in the past. I thank God in the past the community used to really take hold of marriage. Maybe not like now. It used to be a communal thing. There were elders that were also supportive. When a woman came to a family, she was not just married to the man. She was married to a family, to the whole community. Because I'm bringing this because you're talking about failure. And you're talking about, you're pointing this failure to the two people. There is the part of the community also. This community, in community we have a church, we have neighbors, we have the in-laws,
relatives.
you get? So, yeah, this because of the failure you're talking about is not just entirely the two people. So in the past, maybe if you allow me to say a bit, I'm not so old, but I heard that the community used to really be there for the family. In case of anything, the elders, you know, before things really got worse, it was well sorted in the community by the elders, and which may not be like today. Today, marriage is more of for two people, and that's why maybe we have a bit of major challenges today than in the past.
All
So I was bringing this part of it is not just for the two people. There are other parties that have played a role when marriage is failing.
So let's finish the role of the helper. The
helpers,
helper
the
part.
two. Okay.
So if the woman is the helper,
Yes.
Once she finds a problem in the husband, how does this woman help this man through these problems and through the weaknesses of the husband that are currently challenging the marriage?
She looks for the source. That is my number one point. God told man, when you meet the serpent, look for the head. When the problem is there for a woman, like we are talking about a woman like the one in the Proverbs 31, a woman, the ideal, I started by talking about ideal woman. The ideal woman that God created was a wise woman, okay? Like Abigail in the Bible. The book of 1 Samuel chapter 25 is talking about a wonderful woman called Abigail. Can I bring that in here?
Yeah.
Yes. So this woman really impresses me. How she comes in the time when the husband is messy. Yeah, we remember the story of when David was outside in the field, and this man Nabal, who was the husband of Abigail, was a rich man in the area, and so David sent his servants to go and look for some food. He was running away from King Saul, and so they were outside there. They felt hungry. So this was a man that was rich in the area. So when the servants came, they met a very hostile man called Nabal. And the man chased these people and talked, who is David anyway? These days, many servants are running away from their masters and calling themselves, kings. So and he talked so bad and he chased them. And Abigail comes in. So I'm talking about the ideal woman that God created with wisdom. This ideal woman, Abigail came in, and the servants told him how they were well treated by the people of David outside there when they're outside in the field, and how the husband has mistreated them. And so the woman came in, immediately he grabbed the opportunity and he played her role in wisdom.
So in the world of today, in 2022,
yes.
How is that reflective of us for the woman of now? Because you're talking about the ideal woman.
Yes.
Do we have ideal women?
Oh yes,
currently?
we do.
Have.
Yes, we do.
So how does this woman of 2022 who is in marriage as we speak help her husband's weaknesses through her husband's weaknesses?
Like if she's a born again woman, she prays, she takes time to pray, and God will reveal where the real problem is coming from. And when she gets to know the source of the problem, then she'll be able to handle it.
All right.
Well.
To you, helping the husband through the weaknesses.
Well, from what Sister Merab is bringing, the concept is bringing, is this woman who is full of understanding and wisdom. The Bible says that Abigail was a woman full of understanding and wisdom. Let me put in this manner, that for this woman to help the man, number one, she must be a woman of character, good character. These are the things that will help her to, number one, find out the problem. Where is the source? And in as much I'm going to help this person and point out areas that needs to be addressed, how do I do it? This is where understanding is coming in. There are this type of a woman that would want to solve out things in a chaotic manner, shouting left and right and calling the husband names. According to God's order, a man is a symbol of authority. With mistakes or without mistakes, he still remains a symbol of authority.
And you are the helper to this symbol of authority.
Yes.
Now,
So
when your husband is insulting you, throwing words at you, and sometimes gets physical and can even slap you, how should you behave? How should a woman behave in such scenarios?
I said something earlier that whatever the man is does not change the role of a woman. It's like if I'm driving a Subaru car and I get a tire burst or a puncture along my way, that does not change the model of the car. It still remains a Subaru with a puncture along the road. So we only need to find out how to rectify this puncture and make sure that this car is going to reach the destination.
All right.
So with these assaults, nowadays, let's look at the mind of God, because whether someone is a believer or someone is not a believer, marriage remains God's idea. So the principle of God still works both for the believers and both for people who don't believe.
All right.
Now, God made marriage with the mind of permanence. God did not.
What do you mean when you say mind of permanence?
Yeah, that's what I want to explain. God was not intending marriage to be this a site touring thing where we only enter this thing, then after like a year or months, realize we can't make it, now I'm walking out. Marriage, God made it with the mind of permanence. So therefore, that does not mean there will not be challenges in it. There will be challenges. Some of them will be coming from the side of the woman, some of them will be coming from the side of the man. But a woman, this ideal woman, has a responsibility to defend this marriage, to work. And one of the ways to defend this marriage is to be this woman who is able to understand. Some of these people, some of these ladies, or the moment they get a problem in the marriage, they don't want to have that understanding. They want to yell, they want to shout, oh, this is why, oh, I've had it, oh, someone told me I can walk out, I don't need to subscribe to this. Before a woman runs out of a marriage, this woman has a responsibility to play to make sure that this marriage works.
Now, let me ask you this question, because now I want us to even get deeper. In marriages where we've seen couples argue and fight, how should a woman treat a husband or a man who is so high up there in their temper, so mad and so pissed off? How should a woman approach such a man? Amekasirika sana.
You go down. He's high, you go down.
Amenyanyi?
That is what I said. In every man, there's a lion.
Okay.
You must cage that lion.
Even if you believe as a woman that he is the one who is wrong.
The mistake of so many, the 21st century woman who wants to believe the things of the Google than the Bible, is that when the man goes up, they also want to go up. My friend, this is a lion. A lamb cannot stand and threaten a lion.
Men can say that if he is a lion, I am the lioness.
Well, have you ever seen a lioness threatening a lion? So, the caging this meaning, sometimes even when you know very well the man is the one who is wrong, with the wisdom, this woman, this ideal woman, we talk about this ideal woman who is full of wisdom and understanding, will know that if I go up with him, we are going to hit one another, each other up there. So let me go down. Let me own like I'm the one who did a mistake here. Then I cool things down. Then I can bring this issue when things are sober and we are now able to talk soberly.
I don't know if I'll take you back, but please allow me to. You know, I'm still on the source. Before this lioness or so came, you know, became so up, there must have been somewhere. It must have been started. It must have started from somewhere. And now I said this woman must have learned this man. She has studied this man so well. He knows who he is, and so he knows what takes him up and what brings him down. Yeah, I think that is where we begin. Study your man very well. Even if he's one that loves food, you know him very well. You know how to tame him.
God help us.
What is it that, Yes.
When he is high up,
yes,
tame him.
You know which medicine to give him.
Don't allow him to go that
high.
So
things happen, things go haywire because people have not studied one another. And much more, the woman has not studied her man.
Now,
Ram, before you get anywhere, there's no man in his right sense that will enter a house and begin keeping things left and right.
Unless there was something.
And, pulling this woman and beating. There's no man who will do that. Even a mad person is not able to do that.
Now, I want us to get even to a point where I know this is a very sensitive issue for some because maybe someone is going through this particular aspect. When the man comes home drunk and beats you black and white or black and blue, how should you handle it as a woman?
Okay.
Because I know pastors encourage this and they say, just stay there. And we've seen people in this current world that have ended up getting killed because of that. What is the role of a woman in such a scenario? Mira?
You're talking about how to escape or what? Because when there's this danger, you need to.
There is. How do you do it? The husband that comes home drunk and beats you every night, how do you handle him?
No, if that is the danger that now you are facing, this is the danger that has come, you need to give room. Not to run away from the marriage. That does not mean you are running away from marriage.
How do you give room?
Just to escape from the assault. It is important because this is your life.
How do you escape? Do you leave the house? Are you saying you leave the house? Are you saying you get a divorce?
No divorce. Running for that particular time is not a divorce. It's not even a separation.
And
oh yes, you can escape to some safe place. Because this is about your life, or maybe even the life of your child. You are talking about somebody who's drunk. He's not in himself. He's being driven by something. Okay? We are talking about somebody who's not in himself. And when he comes back to himself, then now we can talk.
Now, as a woman, when you know that tomorrow night he will do the same thing, how should you handle him? When you know it is a recurrent thing. Unajua vizuri kesho ikifika, he will come back home, he will be drunk, and he may beat me up again.
This is where for me, this is where you bring in the community that I'm talking about. Is it the church, which is a community that you belong to? There must be some authority, or people, elders, or parents. Surely you didn't come from nowhere. At least there are people around you. There are people who can come to counselors, like Reverend, can now come in there.
Okay.
And I'm sure the counselor, Reverend, is not coming in to break. He's coming in to restore.
All right.
To build.
Reverend Kocho,
one of the things that so many people don't want to ask when there's a problem in marriage, not only ladies and even women, we don't want to ask that before we came to this place or before we reached here, could there be possibility that I also contributed to this? Normally, when there's a problem in marriage, the other party only want to point a finger at the other person. but they are not asking themselves, they are not scrutinizing, they are not auditing themselves and say, okay, my husband is now wild. My husband is now beating me. You know, because I don't believe there's this man that will meet a lady on the street, then say, will you marry me? And already there's a slap. Ta! Will you marry me? Say, no. There will be love involved.
Yes.
There will be seduction. There will be all those good things. So for this man to come to a point of assault, for me to make out things and make sure that this thing is going to work, and even to help me, if it comes to a level where I have to consider divorce, because that's the Bible speaks at what time we need to talk about divorce. Are we together? Mm-hmm. So there must be this self-audit whereby I ask myself, this wild woman or this wild man, did I contribute something to make him like this? And if I did, is it something that I'm not able to change? Now, this man coming home to beat the wife, I still want to insist that there is no man, whether drunkard. I witnessed this, my brother, one time in Homa Bay. I was a pastor there. And we had a sister in the Lord. The husband was purely drunkard. Coming home, staggering, and with big words, insults. Our sister came out of the house and calling this man good names. Oh, servant of God. Oh, come on.
Servant of God.
Oh, brother to Akinyi. And staggering Amalewa. Oh, today you are tired. Today, how many glasses did you take? I've warned you. And receiving this man well, bringing him in the house, you know, washing him, attending to him. And I was astonished. And I said, this woman is wise. Today, the brother I talk about is a believer in the Lord, is a pastor, is a minister of the Word of God. Because a woman played her role very well.
So when
what brings violence, meaning you also failed somewhere. Maybe you provoked this violence. And in a scenario where it is now happening, number one, you are responsible for yourself, number one. So you need to be safe, make sure you are safe. If there is things are turning so wild in the house, even at night, you must make sure that we are safe. But have you, maybe in our generation they are not there. I grew up, I saw those women who would say, come beat me, come beat me. So that I can be at the level of your cows that you took to our place. Come, let me kill me now. You know, such a woman is inviting death. So you don't need to provoke.
You should not say that. How much should not say that?
You don't need to provoke this man. He's under influence of another thing, and you're provoking him again. You need to calm down, cool things down, and when things are sober, and I want to say this as we get to the next level, women are more intelligent than men.
Yes.
Every woman knows what brings the husband down. Every woman knows what, this thing that when she does this man will automatically come down. And every woman knows that time that he can even demand 1 million, the man will just say, I'm giving you, and after giving, say, thank you, that's not enough, don't care. Every woman knows that.
Okay, every woman knows how to deal with her husband.
Exactly.
You know her weaknesses, you know her strengths.
Yeah.
All right, now let me move to something else. Now, what is the role of a woman when in-laws are involved and come into your marriage? There is that in-law that is causing interference with your family. How should a woman handle people from the husband's side and people from her own side?
Well, I think with a close relationship with your husband, because I believe a woman and a husband, they need to live as friends. Before the outside world comes in, you have bonded together. I believe so. So if you are that kind of you're in a friendly life relationship, then you can be able to talk some things out. Yeah, you can be able to agree. How to what extent are we allowing our in-laws into our lives?
You discuss that with your husband?
Yes. You need to discuss.
Okay.
You need to agree.
And this is you discussing his family or your own family?
His family, and you are also your family, because God said a man shall leave his family and go and cling to their wife, and the two shall be one. So when you come together, you must have left to some extent. You are now here building your family. So you must agree. To what extent are we allowing our sisters and brothers or our in-laws? Are we helping them through school fees when they are staying where, you know? Are they able to bring conflicts into our family? Are they able to cause problem when we do this? I think that should be an agreement.
Now, still on you, Merab,
yes.
because now you're saying the two must talk.
Yeah, because if you don't talk, then there will be problem. Yeah, you must talk. You must agree to talk.
In the case where the man's people are causing problems, they come to your home to supervise how you do things, to supervise what kind of food are you cooking, how are your children staying, what kind of clothes do you give your children, what kind of a school do you take your children, what kind of how do you use or spend money in your house. They now micromanage people from his home. Come to micromanage your family, and it offends you. Sometimes you raise these issues to your husband, but he doesn't consider them as important. How do you handle that as a woman?
That is now totally wrong. As a woman, as he says, and as I said in the beginning, a woman is very powerful. Yes, you now say you stand for your family, because you are also saving your own husband from these people. That means the man has become weak. He's weaker for the family to interfere, and he's also going to suffer the wreckage of the family. So you must stand in and save your family.
So how do you stand in?
You stand in and say, you just say, if he's not able to, you are not able, he's not, backing you up. If you are not able to agree with him, you just face the family, the in-laws, and tell them, no, we can do this, but this one we can do.
So you call them, you meet them?
Oh yes, yeah, you meet them. If they come to your house.
And you tell them?
You come to their, they come to your house, you sit with them. Yeah, and talk to them you talk to them well, not arrogantly. Say, you see, this is...
they will tell you, this is our son.
No, it's their son, but this is not their house.
Okay.
The thing is, I agree with her. For things to reach there or to come to that level,
you take charge, in short.
It means it means there was some negligence somewhere, because even in the current world or the current generation, there is what we call premarital counseling, where some of these things, the bishops and the leaders who are doing premarital counseling must expose these people to these realities, and must ask them, what is your take when the mother of your husband comes in to try to rearrange your family? What is your take? How will you deal with that? These people must be candid enough to speak their minds during the premarital counseling to know how to deal with that, and also to know how to help the man to make sure that such a thing is not going to happen. But now, in a situation where it is happening, meaning something was neglected or there was some negligence somewhere before the marriage now, then two things or three things must happen. Number one, I agree with her that this woman must stand to defend her family. But I also agree that this woman must sit her husband down in respect and in love, and explain clearly, without anything against the family of the husband, that, you know what, darling, this is our marriage, it is for the two of us. This is the extent that we can tolerate your sisters, your brothers, but they cannot go beyond this point because of A, B, C, D. And if we allow them to do this, it is not only against me, but it is also going to bring this marriage down. It's going to destroy our peace. At the end of the day, we are not going to be a family. Another thing I would say, in such scenario, that is why this ideal woman should be a wise woman. Beat them in their own game. How do you beat them in their own game? Love them. You know, some of these in-laws, they'll come and do some of these things, and they want to see how you behave. Love them. I have a friend of mine who, the mother hated the wife so much. So what the wife said, you know, darling, what we do, from today you are not sending any money direct to your mother. From today, any money you want to send, just give me, I will send
goes
to your
through me.
mother. Yeah. You'll buy clothes and give me to take. And this brother agreed to this kind of policy. Yeah? So she was buying things and giving the wife, she was doing these things and giving the wife. Then after some time, the mother was saying, oh, you know, my son is just preaching. He doesn't care about me. It is my daughter-in-law. And they were like this. Those quarrels and all those issues.
Wisdom. That's wise.
So
That's wise.
you must beat them in their own game. Love them. Treat them well. When they come home, let them find that both of you are one. You are loving each other so well.
All right.
Yeah.
Now let me touch on one, again, sensitive issue here. When children are no longer being seen, when you get into marriage, there is always this perception of, from the family, from the in-laws, we want to see our grandchildren. And the grandchildren are not coming. And it is causing problems to the point that now the in-laws are saying, if your wife cannot give us grandchildren, we will look for another wife. What is the role of a woman in a scenario where children are not coming into the family and there are threats of bringing in a second wife? We will answer that question after the break.
Okay.
I want to take a short break. We'll be back in a bit. Remember, we're discussing the role of a woman. A woman's role in having a successful marriage. What is it that a woman can do to protect her family, to protect her husband, to protect herself and her marriage? Keep talking to us. This is Power Talk. Welcome back. This is Power Talk. As we were on that break, I was taking a look at what you guys were saying on our social media platforms. And I want to say thank you so much. Asante Sana, thank you so much for your comments. I shall sample them up a bit later on as you continue. Head over to Facebook. The social media platform is at Y254. Search Y254. And do not forget to like the page. Like the page, follow us on our social media platform, and then you scroll to our post there, our picture. Drop in your comments on the comment section below. Tell us what is your thoughts in regards to, what are your thoughts in regards to the role of a woman in a marriage. And don't forget to also let us know where you are watching us from. Of course, I'm with Reverend Kocho and Apostle Merab here to help us in this conversation. This is Power Talk. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are continuing with the conversation on this second part, and we are going to, I'm coming to you, Reverend Kocho, because I was asking the question before we took that break. When the in-laws are saying they want to see children, and in your marriage, you do not yet have kids, how should a woman handle a scenario like that? To the point that the in-laws may even threaten that they are going to bring in another wife.
Well, it is not just a question of how a woman should handle that, because lack of children in a family or in a house is not just, bringing children in a family is not just a responsibility for a woman. It is both responsibility of the two. And, women are producers. A producer is somebody who gives out what you have offered. They say that if you give woman a seed, she'll give you a children. If you give her money, she'll make you dinner or supper. And if you give her health, she'll multiply that health and add more health and press down, running over. So it's not just a responsibility for a woman, but it's both responsibility for the man and the wife. But in case such kind of a thing happens, then this woman has a responsibility to have a talk and, fellowship as a family and know where this problem is coming from. Is it a reproductive issue? Is it some sickness? It is infertility? Is everything okay? You can first of all approach the doctors, gynecologists, and find out from both of you if you're okay. It's a collective thing, not just a woman thing. And then when things are confirmed, whether you have a problem or not, you have a responsibility beyond that, that you will pray for the kids to come.
Okay.
And be patient, because you didn't marry to have children. You married because of love, number one. Children are part of the blessing that accompany that marriage. But it is not something that I say that I want to marry because the way I see you, you can give me 20 kids the way I see you. No? We married because we love each other. So love must overrule all these things and handle things amicably.
All right.
Yeah.
Pastor Merab, how should a woman handle scenarios like that?
Yes, I support him. We don't marry because of children. We marry because of love. And the Bible says that children are a gift from God. You don't command gift, isn't it? I have a gift I want to give you. Did you command me? You don't command me. Yours is to receive. A gift.
Yeah.
A gift is to be received. You don't command it. Please, God, give me the gift. Ram, give me gift. No.
But you
with that knowledge,
you do know that in some communities,
yes,
they blame the woman for not having kids.
Okay. With that knowledge, you are talking about a woman or both of you, because I believe this is a corporate, it's for both of you.
For the both of you.
Yeah, for both of you. So you need to have an agreement that this is the state, this is how we are, this is the situation. So let's be patient, or maybe you have heard from the doctor's report, and now you agree with it before you face the outside world. You need to face the outside world with in one accord, with one mind.
So the woman
that we have accepted this situation. Now you go to the in-laws and tell them we are okay, and
so
we are waiting.
The woman should hold a discussion or a conversation with the husband.
With the husband,
have something that is mutually agreed upon.
Yes.
And then talk to the in-laws
yes.
that are causing this problem.
Yes, that's my point.
And what about a woman who is being accused by her own husband that you are not giving me children?
A woman being accused by then the husband should accept we go to the doctor together.
You know,
because it's the doctor that has the power to know what the mechanism of. Yeah.
You know, there are men who say that if she cannot give me children, I would rather she leaves my house, I'll bring in another woman who can give me children.
Ram, in African community, we have this very unfair concept that when children are not coming forth in a family, that it is woman's mistake.
Yes.
I have witnessed a case whereby the man is suffering infertility. The man is not able to make a woman pregnant. And the woman was the one receiving insults, was the one at the receiving end. From the family, from the sisters, from the in-laws, look at this thing, cannot even afford a child, you cannot even afford a miscarriage, So she was bearing all this burden, all this shame, but a time came when she had to face the reality. Yeah, the in-laws came home and how mother-in-laws and sisters can be so arrogant about that issue. But that day, she faced the reality. He told them, all this while I've been receiving insults from you. But respectably, I've received all these things, and I've been very patient because you're my parents, you're my sisters, you're my brothers, you're my relatives. I have a responsibility to respect you. But today I want you to know the truth. It is my husband here that is a problem. And if I'm lying, he is here, he can tell you the truth. We have gone to the doctor, and these were the findings of the doctor. The papers are here. So please stop these insults. We are trusting God and believing God for a child one day. I tell you, those people left that house with a big shame. And they never disturbed that woman again. Thank God that after that, the Lord heard the prayer of that woman. They have children today. So the role, if I can bring the role of a woman in that concept, then I would say this woman should be a prayerful woman. Knowing what Sister Merab said, that children are blessings from the Lord. And something that comes from the Lord, you can only pray to God.
Yeah.
Trust Him that God will bring these gifts in this family.
I want us to go to Facebook. Timothy, let's bring the comments on Facebook, and then you shall have time to comment on them. This is Aracha Jose. I'm seeing a comment. Anasema sina maoni kabisa. We asked the question, what is the role of a woman? Isaac Nalian anasema, I'm Isaac from Butere. Good morning, Isaac. Good afternoon, Isaac. Hope you are well. Anasema, a woman's role includes, 1, she should seek a man's opinion. 2, she should be patient. 3, she should respect the in-laws, and she should also keep a man's honor.
I agree.
Masi Chalangata anasema, helping the men emotionally, being patient, and being
Clean. I agree.
Regina Murika anasema, as a wife, she is expected to serve her husband, preparing food, clothing, and other personal needs. I get you, Regina. Mr. Wazira anasema, to wash vyombos and cook.
No.
The role of a woman in a successful marriage is to wash vyombos and cook.
No.
You know, we are in Africa.
That is African concept.
Yes. What is wrong with this concept, Kocho? And I want you to decipher for us, what is the problem with someone who says the role of a woman in a successful marriage is to cook and clean,
It
is to wash clothes?
It is very wrong because it makes woman to be a slave. This is a helper, meaning I was having a responsibility that was beyond one person. In other words, I had a house before this woman came.
Yeah.
I was washing my plates, isn't it? I was washing my clothes. I was doing laundry. I was cooking before this woman came. When she comes in, I don't need to relieve all those duties to her.
So, you know, there are men who say that, you know what, I was doing these things when I was alone.
No.
And now that you are coming in, you're going to be my helper. You said
that
you said helper.
That is a wrong concept
Helper is
of
not just in that.
marriage. Let me tell you, let me talk from me.
Okay.
I get to the kitchen, I cook. There's a day that I'm the one who goes to the supermarket, buy food, come home, prepare everything, cook, serve food at the table. And look at me. Do I look like a half man because I did that? No. These are roles. There's this manual roles in the house where there's nothing like hii ya kupika na kuosha vyombo ni ya mama, na hii ya watch TV na kushika remote na kuweka mguu juu ya kiti ni ya baba. No. This house chores we share. If she is cooking, I am busy washing the plates.
Let me come to you, Apostle Merab. Do you have a problem with that? And what is your thoughts in regards to the families that believe that the role of a man is to be the provider, and the woman is to be in the kitchen, and wamesema ni hivyo? That is the law in that house.
First of all, let me deal with the issue of the concept of helper. I think it's quite conceived wrongly.
Yeah.
The helper, that's not even helper now.
I love because that's where we started from.
because we are talking about helper means you have washed the clothes and you are tired and now I can continue.
No,
that is helping.
I have put on the clothes.
No. this is what helper means now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that now you define for me my roles and yours are, we are helping one another in everything. It's only that I am stronger in some area and you are also stronger in another area by God's design. By God's design, there are things that are men can do, or they are designed to do. And there are those that are designed for woman.
Now, in families where the woman is being told where
slavery.
Your place is in the kitchen.
Okay, let me tell you, that is slavery, and that now is not even your wife. That is your housemaid. This one cannot even, you can't be lovers. Because this is a slave.
Now let me tell you, because I have seen in instances where the church has come in, and I love the fact that you're both men of God in churches, working in your own different churches. Now the church comes in and even dictates how these roles should be given and should be divided, and the pastor can say that this woman cannot even cook. And they say this is not a wife material because she cannot cook. How will she live with her husband and she cannot cook? Tell me about that.
I love one thing that God created us with conscience. Even if you're in a wrong church, the conscience of God still super,
Okay.
It is still above.
Still
supersedes the kind of religious concepts and religious teachings in some of the churches where I belong. Yeah, I agree. Not all churches teach the same. But there is conscience. You know, even the Bible says that those people who died long time ago before Jesus came, they will be judged through conscience. There is conscience. You can know what is wrong. You can know that this is not a good teaching. That is number one.
So it's not right to say that because she cannot cook and clean, she is not wife material wachana naye.
No. Even these roles, these duties can be done even both of you. If you love one another and you're living as friends.
I think
I've seen a family where a man even cooks and he enjoys cooking, bringing to the table, and the family enjoys eating the food that has been made by the man. And there's nothing wrong with him. He feels good. In fact, he enjoys doing these duties.
Yes.
I think I'm getting what you're saying, whereby I'm in a marriage, but this woman is not able to cook well. Or maybe akijaribu kupika chapati inatoka duvet, or a big biscuit. Or akipika mayai, it comes out something else.
She just
an animal, some drawing of an animal. Maybe. Okay, it simply means this woman bypassed something.
That is where the problem is.
Yeah.
Why would we say that she bypassed it and not the man who bypassed?
Let me tell
Anyway,
you.
proceed.
The Bible says, he who finds a wife, not a woman. A wife is a complete, somebody who has been nurtured. What makes somebody a wife is that this person knows how to take care of herself. This person knows how to do these basic things. That is
like
why
cooking.
if you study, you like cooking.
Yeah.
So
you're coming to my side where I'm
in
saying,
my house, I have one girl. Her mother is already teaching her how to do things. And I thank God for the CBC, in as much it is cumbersome, sometimes tiresome. Like tomorrow I need to produce beef, a quarter, they are going to cook in school. I'm wondering, a class of 40 students bringing a quarter beef, how much, okay, for another day. But they are being taught how to do these things. In 21st century, if a woman is landing in her marriage without knowing how to cook, then there's a problem somewhere. Now, if I land with this woman in marriage and I love her, then I need to bring out the best in her.
Yes.
Do you agree with
I need to cultivate.
with what that he is saying in the 21st century, if a woman is getting into marriage and she cannot cook, there's a problem?
There's a problem because nowadays, even Google, if your mother is not there, Google is there.
But you're the one who said that a man can even cook.
Let me get there. Let me finish this. So if this woman is not able to cook because maybe she had no parents to nurture her well in those areas, I have a responsibility to play here. I know a friend of mine, I was their best man in their wedding. The wife was a terrible cook. After the honeymoon, we went to their place to enjoy the, chicken. It was another thing. It was not chicken. I don't want to get deeper into that. So what did the brother do? He said, darling, I want to take you to Tali College.
Yes.
And she paid school fees there. And the lady went there. Hey, after several months, this lady was cooking excellent meals. Was loving it. They could share kitchen together and cook together, those things. So if this woman does not know how to cook, I don't need to castigate her and call her, you are not a wife material, you are what, I call her names. No, I have a responsibility to play if I love her.
I want to say exactly that.
Yeah.
That as a husband, and since we all have different weaknesses, as I started by saying that, you observe my weakness, I observe your weaknesses, and I see how I can feel it, or what I can do about it. Take the wife for some training.
Or teacher.
You don't. That's not
Teacher.
the only. That may not be the only weakness in the woman. First of all.
But the women who say that we do not subscribe to these societal pressures of gender roles.
Women saying.
The woman wanasema hivyo. Mimi si lazima nipike. If I can't cook, why can't you cook? That sisi sote tunafanya kazi pamoja. I am working, you are working. Why do you want me to go to school?
That's now a chaotic,
you also should go to school.
Chaotic society. I believe we are not here to bring up a chaotic society. We are talking about proper society. A proper society.
All right.
Yes.
I want us to move to something else. I saw your hand.
Yes, such kind of narratives happen with our 21st century ladies, but it clearly brings out one part of life that we are neglecting or we are not working on. Do we really raise our children in a proper way and even make them understand that when they are going to this institution called marriage, what are they subscribing to?
All right.
The marriage, you need to tell our daughters that marriage is not just about looking nice and slaying, then, you know, having all those, you know, jumpings in the bedroom. It's beyond that. It is not just feeling nice emotionally, it is also feeling nice in all aspects of life.
All
we
right.
need to nurture our daughters.
Okay, let's talk about, wow, I'm seeing so many comments on our Facebook page. Timothy, you'll bring them up once you're ready, uniambie. I want us to move to this aspect of honor and respect. Because now many preachers talk about this.
Very important.
Honor and respect your husband. Humble, submit. What should a woman do in cases where she doesn't feel like she has a voice? Because she has been taught to honor the husband. Whatever the man says is law. Whatever the man wants is law. How can a woman feel like she also has a place in the family, yet she's being told mwanaume akiongea kama mwanamke, as a woman, when a man talks you should be quiet and silent? Still on Nikocho.
Let me bring it from this concept.
Yeah.
There is a woman by the name Vashti. And in the story of Vashti, Esther comes into the scene.
Yes.
The Bible says that, number one, there are two levels of submission. The Bible talks about, in the book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 21, it speaks of two levels of submission. The Bible first of all says that submitting to one another or each other. So that level of submission where both of us have a responsibility to submit to each other.
A man submits to the woman, and a woman submits to the man.
Yeah. Meaning, we have a mission that is bigger than our ego. We have a mission that is bigger than our feelings that we all submit to
each other.
Yeah.
But now we have this problem. Problem where the society says that as a man, unakaliwa vipi na mwanamke kwa nyumba.
Let me come there. The second level of submission is where the Bible, God himself requires a woman to submit to the husband. Let me simplify this. A woman who is submissive to the husband will automatically bring out love in that man. And a man who loves that woman honestly and genuinely will automatically bring out submission in that woman. In the moment we play those roles properly, orderly, the way God prescribed them, then we'll not have this crisis. Now let me bring this aspect also. The submission, the Bible talks about woman, that a woman should submit. Let me tell you, I'm a man. You know, submission means respect, honor, you know, discipline, you know. But let me tell you something. A woman can say, call her husband, good name, sweetie, darling, all those perimende, chapati, all those things.
Or even kneel
but
down.
Without respect.
Or even kneel down.
Kneel down.
Yeah.
A woman should kneel down.
I'm saying, or even kneel down.
Even kneel down. But without respect, that's still nothing. Actually, from the concept of a man, what a man knows as love is respect. So this is why I was bringing Vashti in that the king was feeling nice. The king was having a big celebration, having diplomats, ambassadors. And in their tradition, there was that time that the king would bring the queen, so that the queen would walk before people, and so that the king would, you know, show the entire world that I didn't just marry, I picked the best. Then the king calls Vashti, and Vashti denies. Remember, Vashti in the king's palace, and is now being called Queen Vashti as a result of being married to the king. But she forgot her role. What happened? The king was provoked. The lion in him was provoked. And the guy began to run the marriage from the cabinet.
So what are you saying exactly in this particular case about the woman's voice in the family and humbleness?
The woman's voice should be submissive.
She should submit.
Submit.
Now, let me come to you, Merab. Talk about that. And I heard you mention something that I'm interested in finding out more. Are you saying that when serving your husband, that we should train our women to kneel?
No. What I was saying is he was describing some list
counting
of things.
among those things that a woman can
those things that even if a woman does them, and there is no true submission, it is useless.
So should a woman kneel?
So I was saying,
you know, in some cultures they
I was
kneel.
saying, yeah, that's what I was saying. Even including kneeling, if she's kneeling without submission, true submission is useless. That's what I was saying.
Should women kneel?
Well, that's a culture of some people. Communities have different cultures. You know, now when we start talking about culture, that's not my culture.
It is nice. It is nice when a woman kneels.
But it is nice when a woman kneels.
Nice, but
it's like this.
It is not a rule.
It's like this. It's like this. According to that culture, kneeling down is submission.
Yeah.
Yes, according to them.
Yeah.
Maybe according to our culture, it's something else. Doing something else is submission.
What is the role of a woman in having a successful marriage? Let's go to Facebook. Bring it up, Timothy. This is Jobson Barasa, and a woman's role is a teacher, economist, co-creator, administrator, and an organizer of a family. That is John Barasa from Bungoma.
I agree.
You agree? But shosho ni swala anasema show hiyo show iko lead sana, asante sana Bashosho, especially the topic. She must be committed to the relationship walai. Yengine mini blocks hizi ona? Yeah, so Bashosho family represented. All right. So Steezy is saying she's expected to show care, love, trust, and must also be committed to the relationship. Patrick Ongari anasema, is it good for a wife to prioritize their male BFFs than her husband? That's a question, huh? You prioritize your best male friend than your husband. Mtajibu hiyo, si ndio? Stephen Zioka anasema the woman's role is to take care of her husband. Let's talk about that. When a woman has a male friend, you can comment on that.
What kind of friend?
A best friend. A male friend.
Friend in what context, you know? Yeah, because...
And Stephen was asking if it's okay for a woman to prioritize the best friend than her husband.
No, why should she?
Why should she? All right, Kocho?
The primary role of a woman is to be there for the husband.
Yes.
And the moment a man realizes that you prefer somebody better than him, you bring out the lion in him.
All right. I want us to bring this conversation to a close. And I'm giving you each 30 seconds to have a final word. Talk to the women outside there. Today we are talking about the role of a woman. Talk to the women. What is your parting shot within just 30 seconds? And I'm starting with you, Merab, to finalize in this conversation, your final word. And you can look at your camera. Yeah, that is the camera. Camera gani, Timothy? Yo. All right.
Well, talking about the power in a woman, or a powerful woman, the ideal woman that God created, that is in every woman, each woman. When this power in a woman is brought forth, it's really powerful, and it can really bring up a great man. We always hear and we say that behind every successful man there is a woman. What do we talk about? We talk about this woman that is in Proverbs chapter 31. When you go to the Proverbs chapter 31, we get a woman from verse 10 that say a virtuous woman who can find. This woman goes out of her way to even look for a field to buy. She wakes up very early to make sure that her children have food. She makes sure that her workers are, there is enough food for her children. The Bible says that the husband is praising her, seated at the gate, praising her, his wife. In such a scenario, such a woman, in such a family, You can imagine such a family where a husband is seated at the gate praising the wife. When you get this kind of woman, this man can, you know, great things can happen in this family.
All right. Thank you. Your time is up. Sorry for that. Let me come to you, Reverend Kocho. Final word, 30 seconds.
Being a wife is not change of status, it's not changing the place of staying. It's a responsibility, it's a calling. Be committed to it. Be this submissive woman, prayerful woman. Be an accountable woman. Number one, to God, to your husband, to your family. And finally, trust the Lord. And let me say this, in every man there is a king. It is your responsibility as a wife. Nurture out that king. And if you nurture out that king as Esther did, that king will ask you, ask me anything, and I will give you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is Reverend Kocho and Apostle Merab. Thank you so much for coming. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
And it has been well. There are so many things we've not touched
We
on.
need to go part 2.
So many things
we need
we've
to have
not
part
touched
2.
You need to come back.
And I think part 2 you need to bring 2 ladies and 2 men.
We've not touched on so many things. And there is even someone who was asked on Facebook there that should a man should a woman correct a man?
Of course.
When he does a mistake?
Oh, yes.
Of course.
She should.
She should.
But in the respect
there is
and
a
love.
Let's continue with respect and love.
Yeah.
Let's continue this conversation again next time. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And of course, a big thanks to each and every one of you that tuned in and took your time to watch this particular conversation. My name is Ram Aguko. This is Power Talk.